Hello everyone, welcome back to Content Holic. I am Tarun, your mentor, and today we are going to discuss how to write SOP for Open Work Permit, that is SOWP for Canada. Let's begin with our today's video. First of all, let's discuss something about Canada in brief. Canada is one of the most welcoming and frequent immigration countries in the world for people around the world, as it offers various educational and employment opportunities to the countless people worldwide. Studying in Canada is of utmost importance as the country provides best quality education, top-ranked universities, the best faculties, and other important opportunities, due to which several international students desire to go to Canada as it can flaunt their career. I have mentioned all these characteristics, all these things of Canada in my several videos, because Canada is like this only. As you already know that innumerable people are job seekers while many are employed, but still they want to stand in a high position in the upcoming future. As a result, they often want to visit Canada and grab the opportunity of working in the international and globally recognized companies. Almost all people, after getting admission to a top-ranked university or getting employed in Canada, leave their spouses behind in their home country. And after getting settled there, they often miss their spouses and want to stay with them and accompany them in Canada and be their moral and emotional strength. If you too belong to one of them, then it is needed for you as well to write an appealing and impressive SOP for an open work permit, which allows your spouse to work in Canada till the end of your stay there. Now, let's begin to understand about what is an SOP for an open work permit in Canada. That is let's just answer one more question, that what is an SOP? Let's just answer this question, that what is an SOP for open work permit Canada? You will need an open work permit if you want to work in Canada when your spouse is working or studying there. An SOWP or the spouse open work permit is the most essential document that will allow you to enter Canada and work for any employer while being in Canada without having a specific job offer. This means that you can work in any field for any company and you can change jobs as often as you like without having to apply for a new work permit every time. Nevertheless, you have to write a strong and appealing SOP or the statement of purpose in order to obtain the spouse open work permit in Canada. It will include your introduction, why you want to get employed in Canada, why you want to work in a particular company in Canada, and why you are the best candidate for getting the spouse open work permit. You have to answer all these questions very well. If you are not able to get it, then don't worry, we will talk about it in a while. Your SOP for open work permit should have to be crisp, concise, and appealing enough so that it can impress the Canadian authorities and they will grant you the work permit. Make sure it is free from errors and plagiarism and is unique and perfectly demonstrates your motive for working in the Canadian company. Now, let's move on to discuss how you can create an effective SOP for an open work permit for getting employed in Canada. Let's discuss this very important aspect. How to write an effective SOP for an open work permit in Canada. You all must be knowing that writing a strong SOP is an important part of the process for obtaining a spouse open work permit in Canada. I assume this. The majority of people commit serious mistakes and blunders while creating the SOP, due to which their application gets rejected. But don't let this happen to you. I will help you by mentioning some of the steps which you must follow while constructing your SOWP Canada. Let's start understanding all of them one by one. I will discuss all these points one by one in this video, so please be with me, stay with me till the end of this video. First, understand the purpose of your SOP. The first and foremost step for writing a strong SOP is to understand its purpose. The SOP is a written document that provides Canadian immigration authorities with all the information about you, your spouse, your background, your qualifications, and your motivation to work in Canada. So it has everything, all the information about you. The SOP should demonstrate your commitment and motivation to work in Canada clearly. Please mind my words, it's clearly. It should also mention your qualifications and experience and explain how your skills and experience make you a strong candidate for a spouse open work permit. So this was point 1. Now let's discuss another important point, that is point number 2. Research the requirements for a spouse open work permit. Before start working on your SOP, it is very important to research the requirements for a Canadian spouse open work permit. Requirements may vary depending on your situation and your request. Generally, you will need to provide ample shreds of evidence for your relationship with your spouse or partner, such as a marriage certificate or the proof of legal relationship, etc. Excuse me. You will also need to provide proof that your spouse is a full-time student in the designated learning institution, that is to say, the DLI, or is working in Canada. Now let's move to step number 3. Identify your goals and objectives and mention your intention. The next step that you must follow while writing your SOP is to determine your genuine intention of visiting Canada. Start pondering your reasons for working in Canada and what you aim to acquire from your work experience while being in Canada. You have to be clear about your goals and explain how your professional working career at a Canadian company will help you achieve them. Step number 4 is throw light on your qualifications and experience. You have to mention your qualifications and experience in your SOP, which makes you a strong candidate for attaining the Canadian open work permit. This will include your educational background, experience, and skills or certifications that you hold. You have to be specific and need to provide ample shreds of documents, certificates, etc. as evidence of your achievements and accomplishments. Well, here you have to mention the knowledge or skills that you have, which can help you to get your dream job in Canada. Step number 5 is demonstrate your motivation and commitment. Make sure to demonstrate your desire and commitment to work in Canada in your SOP. Explain why you want to work in Canada and what motivates you to grab this opportunity of working in the globally recognized Canadian company. You must explain how working in Canada fits into your long-term career goals and future plans. Now here comes point number 6, or the step number 6 you can say. It's address any gaps or weaknesses in your application. Never hesitate to mention your weaknesses and loopholes in your SOP for open work permit, as nobody is born perfect. Make sure to address your weakness in your SOP and what you did in order to fix them. If you have weaknesses in your qualifications or experience, then you need to describe how you intend to overcome them while working in Canada. Mentioning gaps or weaknesses in your application will show that you are resilient and determined to overcome and spearhead any challenge that may surpass you. The next step, step number 7, is conclude your SOP with a positive and confident note. Closing your SOP with a strong paragraph is key to convincing the higher authorities to review and consider your SOP. You need to show your sincerity here, as it is the ending paragraph of your SOP. Your application should summarize the main points of your SOP and state how much excited you are to visit your spouse and show your interest and passion for working in Canada. Be sure to end your SOP for open work permit with a positive and confident note. Now, moving ahead, we must not forget about discussing the suggestions that you must follow while constructing your SOP for open work permit in Canada. Now let's discuss this. Well, suggestions to follow while constructing the SOP for open work permit Canada. Let's discuss this. Many people who are not familiar with the correct guidelines and perfect format to write a profound SOWP often make several mistakes, due to which their application gets rejected. If you don't want rejection, or if you have faced one, then don't worry, as I will suggest you some points that can help you in creating your SOP for open work permit in Canada efficiently. Let's start talking about them one by one. First, the introduction and conclusion of your SOP should have to be crisp, clear, and concise. Second, your SOP should have to be unique, authentic, and accurate, which should ideally represent your case. Next, the higher authorities will only be able to see the genuineness, truthfulness, and seriousness in your SOWP when you provide all the relevant information and details in your SOP with full honesty and accuracy, and without stuffing any irrelevant and extra details. Next point is, avoid using passive voice in your SOP. Instead, you must use active voice in order to represent your case efficiently. The next point is, information should never be exaggerated in your open work permit SOP. Make sure to write it precisely and sincerely. Next point is, always use a formal tone in your SOP. You must always keep in mind that your SOP for open work permit will be read by the Canadian authorities, who are higher and most important officials in Canada. Hence, it should have to be formal, professional, and appropriately respectful in tone. The next point is, avoid extra stuffing in your SOP. Always include relevant information and detail in your SOP. Otherwise, it will take up the space of all the relevant information, which may make the authorities no longer interested in your application. The next point is, make sure that your SOP is free from spelling and grammatical errors, or else you will look careless and visa officer might think that you haven't put enough efforts in writing your SOP. As a result, it can negatively affect your chances of getting accepted. Now, the next point is always stay away from plagiarism, as it is a serious offense when it comes to writing an SOP. Make sure that your SOP is free from plagiarism, otherwise, your application will surely get rejected. The visa officers own various tools that can detect plagiarism very smoothly. Hence, make sure to stay away from copying your SOP from anywhere, otherwise it can lead to negative consequences. The next point is editing and proofreading play a prominent role while writing the SOP for open work permit in Canada. Make sure to proofread your SOP several times before submitting it to the visa officer. If in case it has errors, then you can edit it and make it worthy of approval. You must include all the relevant dates and details so that you won't get a question for the wrong or missed information by the higher officials in Canada. The next point is, if you fail to submit any document as per the guidelines, then you must state in the reason for not providing it. The next point is, avoid using idioms, slang, jargon, or complex language, otherwise it will become difficult to read and understand. Make sure that your SOP is readable and understandable to the Canadian officials. Next point is, you must stay away from dishonesty or discrepancy. Never add any false information in your SOP. Any fake or false information is strictly prohibited and you should be rigorously avoided, or else your application will get rejected or any legal or strict action might be taken against you for attempting such practices. So this is very, very, very important to remember. The next point is, avoid using flowery language, as it will make your application flattery to the visa officer. Your SOP for open work permit should have to be convincing, not flattery to the Canadian authorities. So, all these suggestions that I mentioned just now are the key to create a compelling SOP. Following them carefully will definitely help you in making your application worthy of approval, and you will be able to stay with your spouse and work with your partner while being in Canada. Make sure to adhere to them and follow them sincerely if you want to create an approval-worthy and exceptional SOP for Open Work Permit Canada. I want to say one more thing here, that a strong and effective SOP can make a good and lasting impression on immigration officials and ultimately increase your chances of obtaining an open work permit in Canada. Make sure to write everything accurately and honestly. Never copy and paste your SOP from other sources, as it will come under the category of plagiarized material, which is a serious offense, as I mentioned in this video, and attempting which can cause your rejection. Well, if you feel troubled and getting stuck in the pool of doubts, then make sure to seek help from our professional SOP writers at Contentolic, who can help you with your SOP. They will help you to stand out and get accepted among the other applicants. Contentolic has been functioning since 2011 and have gained immense expertise in providing the best quality SOP, not only for getting admission but also for obtaining certain visas like study visa, work visa, open work visa, tourist visa, spouse visa, and so on. Seeking our help will help you in fulfilling your dreams of visiting abroad. Our professional writers know the importance of your dreams and work according to you. Once you give your work to us, then you need not to worry about the quality of content. We provide the best and top quality work within the minimum time possible. Kindly check out our social media handles at Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. and go through our website. The link has been provided in the description below. Contact us for additional information. If this video was helpful to you, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel as well. Follow us on our Instagram handle for all the new updates and notifications. I will catch you guys later. Till then, stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching.